Hello and welcome to the Service Operations Podcast. I am your host, Satinder Kaur. Our guests are from different industries and functions. They will share their experience, strategies, and the changing landscape to help you take the service operations of your business to the next level. Today, we are talking about escalated complaint management with Mansi Mohare. Mansi has spent her entire career spanning 20 years in the functions of sales, analytics, and handling customers of a large private bank. We'll discuss everything there is to know about escalated complaint management. Thanks so much for joining us, Mansi. Hi, Mansi. Nice to have you here. And with your expertise in escalation management, I think this topic will be of great interest to most people who are managing complaints and more so escalated complaints.
Yeah,
So to
thank
get
you so much,
started,
Satinder, and thanks for inviting me on this discussion today.
my pleasure. Let's just give us an idea about what are the functions which you did, before you started handling escalated complaints, and also tell us what of those functions you could use well in, this management.
Okay. So, Satinder, I spent quite a lot of time, almost about 21 years.
Yeah.
And of those 21 years, as in each role was unique in its own way. And most of the times, the roles that I handled involved dealing with customers directly or indirectly. Initially, I started with sales. So, sales was something which really helped me a lot. And I think a lot of convincing customers, the way you have to convince a customer, I learned it through my sales profile.
Yeah.
So that was my first profile that I handled in the bank. After that, I did the data analytics piece, where that also gave me a lot of insights with regards to what can go wrong in which area in the organization
Okay.
and in the customer life cycle.
Okay.
So if there is a problem, whom should you approach? Which team will give you what kind of inputs? That also I learned during my data analytics days. After that, for a considerable long time, I managed the operations, as in, the dealing customers directly. I did the email customer service management at the bank. So that also helped me a lot, because there we used to handle customer complaints, requests, queries. So what kind of queries lead to complaints? A simple query, straightforward, you're able to resolve the customer query. But if the customer is asking something complex and you're not able to resolve it, though it's a query, it eventually gets into a complaint kind of a mode. So how do you handle those kind of things? So that was really a very good learning. And after the customer service escalations, as in the complaints management came in after that, where it was totally managing escalations. And these were customers, like, in fact, to tell you, when I was doing my regular email management, we used to have a team who used to handle escalations, which was a
Okay.
separate team. And when that team used to ask us, give us inputs on what went wrong or whatever, because I think I think yes, escalation management involves getting to the root of what happened at the normal channel. So they used to ask us queries. So I used to wonder what exactly is this escalation, and why so many escalations are happening. So when I was offered the role of escalation, handling escalations,
You
I
grabbed
was
it.
not at all hesitant. Yeah, I grabbed it and I said, I really need to get to the root of it. Why exactly so many escalations are happening?
That's
So
interesting.
that was the story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So it was an extension of something that you were already handling. And you
Yes.
also, I think, got insights as to why things can go wrong in a way, why a
Right.
simple thing can sometimes go wrong and become, a big problem in a way. So,
You would sometimes not even able to predict, and you're not able to predict that this is a simple one. As in, if you think of it just standalone, yes, maybe this is a query and I'll be able to resolve it. But sometimes those queries only build up in, if the handling is not right, or maybe the information that you're providing is not right, it leads into a complaint. So how do you manage that bit?
oh,
Those are interesting things, and there's a
I'm
lot of
sure.
learning in that.
Yeah, generally people feel that complaint handling, how can you do it day in, day out? But Every complaint is different, every customer is different, and
Yes,
there is
different.
interest in the person who loves to resolve things. Yeah, that's there. So just
Yeah.
tell me, how is an escalated complaint? So now, if you're you moved there, how is an escalated complaint different from a normal complaint? I mean, normally also customers complain, I didn't get something,
Mhm.
but what is it that is different when there's an escalation?
So, in my mind, an escalated complaint is no different from a normal complaint. It is just the same. It could be like the escalation happens because the normal channel has not resolved the customer
Okay.
query in the right way. So that is why the customer gets agitated and he wants to speak to somebody else who's able to, give him a resolution. So escalated complaint is just a regular complaint in my mind. The only thing is that the customer needs a lot of attention in an escalated
Okay.
complaint. So you have to give him time, get more and more information from him so that he feels heard. Second is that if you do not handle that escalated complaint properly, then it creates a lot of anxiety or a lot of pressure, anxiety for the customer as well as the organization or the team who's handling it. And also, it creates a lot of pressure onto the system.
Okay.
Then the probability of things going wrong also increases. So I think it's just a lot of patience and spending more time with the customer is something that helps. Otherwise, it's no different from a regular complaint.
So what you're trying to say is that the action which is required for an escalated complaint is the same that is required for any other complaint. It's only that the
Right.
customer handling has to be different. The customer has to be
Correct.
handled more sensitively, or in.
More attention, more time to
Okay.
resolve his complaint, and maybe quickly. I think the whole essence is that the customer does not get a quick response. By the time he has escalated, he's already spent a lot of time with the channels, the normal channels, and he's not got his query resolved. So when he comes to the escalated channel, give him attention and resolve his query quickly. That is how you will be able to retain him.
But is it always to do with the speed of resolution, or is it got to do with which is more important? Is it the speed of resolution, or is it the communication with the customer?
I think both. Communicating with the customer is very important. When the customer comes to the escalated channel, you have to give him more time. Let him tell you everything that he wants to tell you about what went wrong so that you don't miss out on anything. And second is, with whatever information is available with you, reach out to the people who will be able to help you get the resolution and do it quickly. Pulling it to a large, as in saying that I'll do it tomorrow, or take time from the customer in an escalated complaint is something that doesn't work in your favor.
Okay,
As
okay,
in, then the customer will get even more agitated, thinking that he's come to an escalated channel and even then he's not getting what he wants.
okay. So one is that the customer actually complains to someone senior in the organization, and that's what you call escalation. He's really agitated, and
That's
so he
right.
wants to write to the CEO, to the executive director. But see, in the last few years, the
Hmm.
customer is also using social media. So he might put out a tweet. He might use Facebook, and so he's using those channels. So how do you manage to then deal with that when a customer has? So let me put the question in two parts. First of all, why does a customer go to the social media? That's question one. And second is that when the complaint does not directly come to you, but it goes to social media, then how do you get that and how do you deal with it?
So, Satinder, I think that social media complaints, by the inherent nature of social media, it's like you create a perception about a thing. So, even if it could be a smallest of the thing, but the customer, when he puts it onto social media, a lot of people, it comes to the attention of a lot of people,
Yes.
and it becomes suddenly becomes very important, though it may be a smallest thing
Okay.
when it's like in person channel. So social media, it was not as important as it is today. But still, what we used to do is, customers there were very demanding. You know that a social media customer is very demanding. So give him time and resolve the query, and the problem is resolved at that point of time. But today, I think it's a lot of millennials prefer using social media as a channel.
Okay.
They do not have the time to pick up the phone or write an email and get their queries resolved, so they prefer go to social media, put in their query, and they know that if they put their query onto social media, it's going to get resolved very quickly.
Okay.
So on social media, I think it's the same thing, just that a little more, it has to be quicker. A resolution or for a complaint which comes through social media has to be quicker, and you have to reply to the customer on social media so that the customer knows and the others who have formed a perception also know that there has been a resolution to the query that has been put across. I
Okay.
think that's very important for social media.
So what I understand you say is that the company has to seek and
Mhm.
they have to search as to where the customer would have put, an escalation or a complaint. In the sense that,
Yes.
yeah, so he could have put it on a review site, or he could have put it in some discussion forum, or maybe,
Mhm.
Twitter is another common way. So that means there has to be some method by which the company actually searches and sees that where has my customer
Right.
put something about me.
Right. So in the earlier it used to be traditional channels. That is, you knew that the customer would either call you or write an email. Then it moved to, having chat sessions or a video conferencing kind of a channel through which the customer would interact with the organization. But now with social media and these review forums, and maybe sometimes people even use WhatsApp to put a complaint, because
Okay.
now WhatsApp is also one of the channels. So in these channels, the all organizations, I'm sure all organizations are tracking it. Sometimes you have some agencies which help you to find where has your organization been mentioned on
Okay.
any of the social media channels, so that you find out what who's speaking about you, or if there is any problem. So if that has been identified, then you are able to reach out to the customer more quickly. So it's very important that you find what a customer is saying about you, whether it's good or bad, on these social media sites. That's one of the ways you can, kind of save your reputation also.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, because more people come to know about it, and the moment it goes
Right.
out, yeah, it's a reputation issue. And I think in regulated entities like banks and insurance companies, it's also the regulator, and
It's the regulator.
regulator.
Yes,
So
it is the regulator.
a complaint which goes to the regulator also becomes an escalation. Okay,
And
so
sometimes it's a legal risk as well, Satinder,
yeah,
because if you do not resolve a customer query, like for example, the customer has been following up with the organization for a long time and there has been no resolution, he may resort to a legal,
legal, yeah,
opinion, and then that is also a legal risk. So
yeah,
legal risk, a regulatory risk, as well as reputation.
yeah,
So irrespective whether the complaint comes from a traditional channel or from social media, I think
yeah.
it's very important that you resolve it, and promptly resolve it.
So it needs attention. Okay,
Yes.
so now let's look at it from the managing of escalated complaints. So here is, the customer's angry and he's writing to the company. The company goes searching and, finds the wherever they have been mentioned and gets it. So just tell me that, is it necessary for, is it necessary for any company to have a separate team to handle customers escalated complaints, or can it be resolved in normal course?
No, as I mentioned earlier, escalated complaints are those where you need to give more time, and you have to resolve them very quickly. So, in such scenarios, if you do not have a separate team, then you will not be able to do justice to those complaints. That's
Yeah.
why having a separate escalation team is really important.
Okay.
And so when the customer, as we mentioned, that the customer is really angry when he comes to the escalated channel, he needs somebody to attend to him and resolve his problem on priority.
Yeah.
And if it is not handled, then all those legal, regulatory risk and your reputation risk comes into the picture. So in such scenarios, for us to give that 100% attention to this kind of a customer, you definitely need to have a separate team for handling
So it's
escalations.
better to have because it requires that kind of attention that you're
Right,
saying.
right,
Yeah. Okay. Now there is
right.
another thinking, that especially when a customer escalates, everyone thinks that, when a customer escalates a matter, you must give him what he wants. So
Hmm.
it's one way. So it's not what he deserves in a way, or what your product is, or what normally you would give a customer, but he thinks that, yeah, okay, I'll get something more. So is that true? I mean, do you think that's how it is?
No, not exactly. See, it is when a customer complains to you and demands for certain things, firstly, you would try and resolve. When a complaint comes in, you would try and resolve the customer complaint amicably so that the customer is happy and the organization is also happy in a way that, yes, my customer has been retained and have been able to resolve his query.
Okay.
But if he's asking something and or he's a very demanding customer asking something which is not in line with the organization norms, then it is better to say no upfront,
Okay.
because if you keep building in expectations, and then ultimately when it comes to actually taking action and you say that no, I'm not able to do this, then the customer is really going to get very annoyed, and then it'll get into that social media kind of a thing where everybody will get to know about what went wrong.
Yeah.
So rather than that, don't build customer expectations. Wherever you have to say a no, say an upfront no and resolve it for the customer.
So is there a
I think
process
that
for
is how we
saying
should
no?
do
Is
it.
it sorry, is it easy to say no to a customer? Because uh, I mean, uh, saying no to a complaining, angry customer is one of the most difficult things to do. So is
It's
there
very
some kind,
challenging.
yeah, and is there some kind of internal checks that you would do before saying no to the customer, or is it that the escalated team would be so empowered that they have the authority to say no to a customer?
In a way, the escalated team is empowered to say no to a customer. But even then, when it is like within the escalated complaints, also, or the team handling escalations, there is hierarchy. So there could be a team leader, there could be a team manager who's there. So the person who has to say a no to a customer, it's difficult. Yes, it is difficult to say no to an angry customer, but it is better to say no at that point of time. Then in that case, we had built a process internally saying that if the officer has to say no to a customer, he should consult his team leader, he
Okay.
should consult
The
his
next
team manager
level.
for certain cases, and only then say a no, so that the next level is also aware. Because what happens next is an escalated customer, even if you say no, then he wants to go to the next level, so the
Yeah.
next level becomes the team leader or the team manager. In that
Okay.
case, we do have a process of consultation before saying a no to the customer.
Okay.
So
And so now there is another impression. So I'm just trying to clear some myths, and that's what we get to hear also.
sure.
That once a customer comes to this channel, now if he escalates the matter, say to the CEO or to the, whoever is the senior person, and he gets special attention, he gets calls, and he gets much more than, what he would get as a regular at the regular channel. So he gets used to always escalating. Now, is that true? Does it happen to all customers, or how do you deal with this?
No, it's true in a way, because the customer tends to build a rapport with the team members.
Okay.
So if he comes to an escalation channel, then he builds a rapport with the team members because he's spoken to them so many times, and his issue has been, whatever that he had come to the organization for has been resolved.
Yeah.
So he knows the next time there's an issue, he will go to the same channel.
Hmm.
So in such cases, what we suggest is resolve the query for the customer, because now that he's come here, you can't tell him now you go to some other channel, but slowly you wean off the customer and tell him that there are normal channels where he can get his queries resolved faster, or maybe there are self-service channels where he's able to do certain kind of things. So maybe educating the customer and slowly weaning him off from the escalation channel is something that really helps
Yeah.
to deal with such kind of customers who keep coming to the escalated
But they're
channel.
not all of them. They're just some
No,
of
not all
them.
of them, not
Yeah.
some of them, and especially so where the complaints have really been complex and have gone for a little longer time. Those are the customers who tend to, build a rapport with the team members, and they keep coming to this channel. So
Okay.
far and few, but there are customers.
So on one hand, is the customer in an escalated complaint. Now the other side of it is senior management. So
Uh-huh.
now, as a team, or as a person who handles escalated complaints, what is this? Is there any kind of challenge, or is there some? You know. different expectations that the senior management has from this escalated team?
So, the es- what I can say is the senior management always wants you to resolve complaints, whatever kind of complaint it may be. They want you to resolve the complaint really fast. Sometimes it's in a matter of hours. So it may not always be practical, but updating them on what is happening on the complaint really helps. They do not want update on everything because as a large organization, we had a lot of complaints to deal with. The number was really high considering the
Size
organization.
of the
So
organization.
if you kept giving updates, or it really is not practical to keep giving update on every complaint that has come in. But if the complaint is really complex, and it has come to the attention of a lot of people, or the customer is approaching a lot of channels, maybe the regular channel or maybe social media, and people are getting to hear his name and his complaint everywhere, then in that case the senior management definitely wants to know what exactly went wrong.
Okay.
So that is what it is. Otherwise, you don't need to tell them on what it is. They want you to resolve it properly for the customer and retain the customer at the end of it.
Yeah, that's
That's
important.
what is
Yes.
the expectation. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's important. So now, so this is about, the senior management. So this is one is we spoke about the customer. We spoke about the senior
Right.
management, the expectations of the senior management. What is it that they require? Now there is another part to this also, because the complaint now needs to be resolved by the other teams. We call them stakeholders. Like there would
Correct.
be the operations team
Correct.
or the sales team, and I think they would the technology team, etc. So I mean, how do you manage, as an, how would you manage to resolve customer escalations through these teams? Is there any separate arrangement, or, I mean, because obviously this complaint at their end also would need more attention.
Operations.
Different
Yes.
people, right?
Yes. A lot of teams involved. Yeah.
So is there a separate arrangement that is there with these other teams so that they know that this is an escalated complaint and needs to be handled differently?
Yes, what happens is we used to have these people responsible in each team, like a whole lot of departments within the organization. So every department we used to have a SPOC, or a first person responsible for complaints resolution. So in
Okay.
that team, because this developed over a period of time. Earlier, what used to happen is a complaint, irrespective whether it was an escalated complaint, a regular complaint, for any kind of a complaint, it used to go to that team and it used to get lost. So the essence of an escalated complaint being resolved promptly or within a certain time never happened, because the team would be full of all these complaints coming from various teams. So what happened was, we identified that we should have a person who is responsible, who will be able to give us resolution in each department, so that whenever an escalated complaint comes in, we approach that person. He's the person who's empowered within the team to give us the right resolution, as well as take any kind of an exception if required.
Okay.
Because exceptions are jumping queues, exceptions are some things that are required in an escalated complaint. So that is the reason why we had these people within the departments. We used to approach them, and there used to be a process saying that a complaint will come to you within so much time, you're supposed to resolve, and it used to come back to us.
Okay.
Other than that, we also had reviews at regular intervals. So it was not that the escalated team is the only one who is responsible for resolving complaints which have come to this channel, but the others are also part of it. So because they are the ones who will actually resolve the complaint. The escalation management team is only anyways a messenger, or who is the one who is the face for the customer.
Yeah.
The actual resolution happens through those departments. So those departments have also to be involved and be part of reviews to say what went wrong, or what better can be done so that we resolve complaints faster for the customer.
Okay. So now, just so we've now discussed the management of, not generally how you would manage, how you would deal with the customer. See,
Okay.
what is also interesting is that, is there some learning from these escalations? I mean, how does one, how is this advantages in a way, whether there you can make better changes, you can get a different set of information which you normally don't get.
As I mentioned to you earlier, Satinder, when you talk to a customer who has escalated a complaint, you spend a lot of time with him.
Okay.
So you get to the bottom of everything, each and every, like right from the beginning, what has happened till the end. So everywhere, the customer gives you a lot of information. He spends a lot of time with you. In that, he gives you a lot of suggestions. So I feel that that's a very big advantage. So when you have conversation with a customer, you get details on of what has happened. So if there are any breakages or gaps in any of your processes, that comes to light and you are able to pick that up. So an escalated customer gives you a lot of information about your own organization, which probably you are not aware of within a certain
Yeah.
process. If there is something wrong, you would not be aware, but the customer as a third party who is an outsider, he'll be able to give you those insights. So process improvement is something that is the biggest advantage that you get when it is coming from an escalated customer,
Okay. So
and
you,
you are able to fix a lot of things. Yeah.
yeah, you're able to fix, and also, as you said, that the,
Replicate it to the other teams as well, Satinder. I miss that, because when a customer tells you a process improvement for a particular department, you know that that has worked after implementation, or maybe after deliberation you discuss with the teams and then implement it, and it has worked for you. You've seen a reduction in those kind of complaints. You can replicate it into your other department. So
okay.
that's the biggest advantage.
So the basic thing is that since this escalation, the team which handles escalations receives, complaints from agitated customers across products, and that's why it makes sense to have a separate team who deals with this kind of
Correct,
complaints.
correct.
And because they are able to, so say, I'm just saying, for example, if it's a say delivery related issue that you have sorted, you would have sorted a delivery related issue across all the products across the company, because you know that that kind of problem
Absolutely.
will work.
Absolutely, absolutely, and do it proactively so that before a complaint arises from for another product through another department, you have already fixed it because you faced it in one of the departments.
Okay, okay. So that's interesting. Now let's look at the way technology is being used today. Like earlier, if something required, in certain in lots of processes, if earlier something required, say, four handoffs, for example, today when a customer or a consumer is using the app, so the lots of those steps get covered, and
Eliminated.
they get eliminated. So has customer complaints in that sense changed? Because see, what happens is that uh, when you're face to face with the customer, there's a different set of complaints. You can see the customer, you can understand, oh, he's getting angry and things like that, right? When on email, as you had said, also said a little earlier, it's a little different because it's slightly impersonal in a way that the customer writes an email, he may not express himself as well, and then then you're dealing with
Right.
him. But now with these app related those functions or those requirements that a customer uses an app for, is there an improvement or reduction in complaints, or is it that the type of complaints have changed?
No, okay, so there are two things to this. One is, yes, the complaints may have reduced because you've introduced these other self-service channels for the customer to get his answers, because the customer doesn't have to come to you. If he gets his resolution on the website, maybe through a chat bot, if there are frequently asked questions, and he gets his answers there, and he's able to complete his transaction on the website, then the customer does not approach any of the traditional phone or a email channel. But on the website, if the customer is stuck, if maybe your so one part is where the complaints have reduced because of introducing self-help channels. The other bit is, if the self-help channel is so complex that he is not able to get an answer. Maybe you have predicted that X queries are coming from a certain customer. By going through the transactions of the customer, you know that these are the most commonly conducted transactions by a customer. You introduce them on self-help. But if there is somebody who needs something which you've not predicted, and he has gone onto the self-help channel, and for some reason he's got stuck there, and he's not got any way of approaching the company, then it becomes very difficult. Because I can say this for the millennials especially, because they are the ones who do not want to spend time talking to somebody or writing emails. One, they will help themselves, but if they are helping themselves and they have a certain query which is not resolved on the website, then they will definitely get agitated. In such cases, it's better to have some option where the customer knows that, okay, if you're not able to resolve your query through the self help, this is the channel which you approach, or this is the email where you write or pick up the phone, and we'll definitely be able to resolve it.
So
So it
maybe,
has its pros and cons. The self help has its pros and cons. While it has reduced complaints to a certain extent, the kind of complaints that come in because you're not able to service the customer on self help are the ones that emerge out of introducing this
and
channel.
then it gets frustrating because I remember there was one, I was dealing with some company on WhatsApp, and it gave me the menu options, 1 2 3 4 5, and then asked me for certain details, and then again, it asked me, after the details again, it kept going on into a loop because I didn't know what to do. And you know it didn't actually sense that it was the fifth or sixth time that I was doing the same thing. So I think, yeah.
That's because there's no continuity, Sadhana. Actually, there's no continuity, because in a channel where it's a call record, it's a call where you speak to somebody, or it's an email, there is a trail which is there and you are able to read through it and you know what is happening. But when it's a self-help channel, it gets into the way you said, it gets into a loop. Every time it starts a new interaction. So it's very frustrating for the customer. Whereas, like as in the organization probably thinks that, okay, I have introduced a self-help and it should help, but it goes the other way around
Yeah.
actually.
So actually, that means what we are saying is that technology does help. It reduces complaints to some extent, but I think any organization needs to keep a tab of where are those gaps coming and try to find this along with technology, because technology is not really the solution to, handling these human issues which come
Escalated
up.
complaints, somewhere I feel you should have a human touch to it. So somewhere, if it's complex, see, where it's a straight through thing, the customer will really be happy
Yeah.
to do self help. Who wants to spend time talking to somebody or sending an email? They will happily use the self help channel. But when it gets into a complexity, there definitely needs to be either a human intervention or some place where he can, he knows that if I'm not able to do it here, I can go somewhere else. So that bit the customer should be aware of, or he should be made aware of rather.
Mm-hmm. So interesting. So I think it's been, quite learning. Now, just before we conclude, what are the 2 or 3 things that you think should be should we should pay attention to while handling escalated complaints?
So one is, I feel that as you know, when you're handling an escalated complaint, you should really be patient. You should have a lot of patience when you're handling an escalated. Don't rush into handling a complaint when a customer has escalated. Listen to him attentively, and understand what he has to say. Gather all those inputs that he is giving, because they are going to help you somewhere improve your own processes. That's really very important.
Okay.
Second is, I feel that when you're handling escalated complaints, you have a lot of opportunity to reduce your own company escalations, because
Okay.
a customer, when he comes to you with an escalated complaint, he want he why does he complain? There are a lot of customers who would choose not to complain. There are customers who complain because they really care for the organization. I feel that they care. That is why they've approached you and they are telling you that ABCD has gone wrong. You please fix it, and that's how he will be retained as a customer. So one is that, so one becomes your process improvement. Second is, retaining the customer because he really cares for you. That is the other one. Third is, when these customer complaints come to you, the process improvement, like doing a lot, some companies, what they do is, what I feel is, when a customer complaint comes in, you just resolve the complaint and that is all, it ends it. But when a complaint comes into you, if you really get to the depth of it and understand what exactly is the reason why the complaint has come to you, so doing a root cause analysis, understanding, taking action on what is the real cause, that is something is going to be beneficial in reducing the complaints, and maybe freeing up your bandwidth in doing something better, or adding more value to the organization, rather than just doing the day in day out rut of
Handling
so
them.
to say, handling complaints. So
Okay.
lot of benefits, and I feel the end thing is, or what I would like to tell the viewers is that escalated complaint is nothing that you need to fear of.
Yeah.
It is just like another complaint. You just give attention to the customer, resolve it for him, and that is all. Sometimes it gets a little difficult when the customer is screaming at you, but at that time, have that patience, listen to him, take all the information that he's giving to you, and that is
It
all. I
will
think
help you
it's
solve.
as easy, it's not difficult at all.
Okay,
It's
okay.
just not
Yeah.
difficult.
And also they say that, recovered, where service recovery has been good, especially in escalated complaints, you get loyal customers for life.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. Because these are the customers, once you resolve, means I've had many instances where customers were so difficult that, as in, sometimes they would just bang the phone onto you, but then you keep following up with the customer, telling him, build that trust that, yes, I'm going to be able to resolve it for you. The customer comes back, and these are the customers who are your advocates. They go
Yes.
and tell 10 other people that this is the organization who really has taken the effort of resolving my problem, and they are good. So these are customers who help you, to
Yeah.
build your brand, or that's the advantage actually.
So that's very interesting. So thank you, Mansi. You've like really given us the inside of managing escalations, and we hope that our listeners find it useful. Thank you so much for your time
Sure.
and for your knowledge and sharing it.
Thank you. Thank you, Satinder. It was a pleasure talking to you.